All right, welcome back. This is our GMC Sierra Tweet of the night. ESPN puts out there Bailey Zappe's 30-yard pass to Jacoby Myers was his third touchdown pass of 25-plus yards this season. That's as many as Mac Jones has in his career. So they went with Jones after an injury, got back there as a starter. Wasn't making too much happen, so they go to Bailey Zappe. The Zappe hour extended into 8 or 9 o'clock at night, and Chicago's still winning that game. But it's interesting because, Chris, they look like they may be teetering on a little bit of a controversy involving two young quarterbacks, one of whom was not supposed to be this good, this fast. That's Bailey Zappe. He started the year as a third-string quarterback, but here he is pushing the incumbent who's only in his second year.
I don't think either one of those guys is sort of a unicorn-level player. I mean, I know that Patriots fans want to believe that Bailey Zappe will turn into Tom Brady, but there's only going to be one of those guys with that story throughout history. But I'll say this for Bill Belichick. If Zappe turns out to be the better guy, he'll go with him, even though it would be refuting his own and going against his own first-round pick in Mac Jones. I think that guy is so hell-bent to try and win as much as humanly possible that the ego goes to the side for certain things. Also, you know Belichick's probably smelling blood now that Tom Brady appears to be, for the 18 millionth time, but maybe final time, starting to look washed up. You know Belichick is ready to pounce and try to win a Super Bowl to prove that it wasn't just all Brady in New England.
I think he is sensing that opportunity. Let's go to the lines. Kevin joins us in Connecticut. Hey, Kevin, welcome to the show.
Hey, Bob, how you doing tonight?
Good, thank you. What's up, man?
Yeah, I just wondering, a quick question we have. I've been a Steelers fan all my life. You know, I've been through the 70s to rebuild this, that, and everything else. Now we got a quarterback, Mr. Pickett. I know you all feel very comfortable about him calling the shots. He's got 7 interceptions and 1 touchdown, or very close to that. What do the Steelers do if they get the number 1 pick in the draft? They must go quarterback, because to me, it doesn't seem like Kenny Pickett's going to be there in the long run.
Well, that's an interesting question, and it's one you never probably thought you would encounter here week 7 into the season, Chris. But, you know, right now I think they're sitting 8th overall as a draft pick. They're going to get a pretty high pick if this continues, although it has a chance to change a little. And I think how Kenny Pickett does the rest of the year would influence that if it came down to having a number 1 overall pick. Me, myself, I would probably trade it to get as many draft pieces as I can if I believe Kenny Pickett is the right man for the job. We'll find out, but we may not know totally going into this offseason.
I mean, if your defense and everything else craters around him, but he plays reasonably well and you go 2-15 and you like what you've seen from him, then it's pretty obvious. You trade that pick and try to get as much as you can around him. If the team goes 2-15 because he looks absolutely terrible and completely overmatched, then you at least have to consider it. I think they're pretty comfortable with him as their guy. I do think one thing that has to happen with Kenny Pickett is you have to surround him with a really good team, because he is not going to be a force multiplier quite on the level of a Josh Allen or a Patrick Mahomes. I hope people understand that. I would also say to the caller right there, to Kevin, it's 12 quarters in. I mean, on both sides of this. I happen to think that he's got the tools to be an above average to good, being a very good NFL starter in that between Derek Carr and Joe Burrow range. I think is his ceiling, and Joe Burrow is one of the best to do it. I think that's his ceiling, somewhere in there. It's 12 quarters or so into his career. I mean, on both sides of this debate, people are going absolutely insane.
I agree.
Not so much in reacting in real time, Bob, to what he's doing, because I think that's fair. You react to what the guy showed you that week, but making like large, sweeping pronouncements about his future as an NFL player based on that. Come on.
Yeah, you're being very reasonable there in that analysis. I agree. Why can't we just watch it happen and then make decisions accordingly? But, you know, at this point, all you got is what you got.
Bob, I do want to say, I think the whole point of what you and I do and everybody else that calls in, you want to give your opinion. We get paid to give our opinions. I don't want to make it seem like, I just want to sit here and take it all in with Kenny Pickett. But, there is way too much of this idea that you have seen him now for 2.5 games or whatever, and you've got a firm handle on what his career is going to look like. Right. What if they blow Matt Canada out of here after this year and hire a hotshot coordinator who says, I can get the most out of this guy, and it looks totally different? Tua didn't look very good till McDaniel got there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be a key part of this offseason. What happens? And at this point, it looks like they will replace Matt Canada. That's how it looks right now based on what's going on, because we haven't seen anything different. But I do think that's a big part of this whole equation. We have seen offensive coordinators who can, really kind of stagnate the growth of some of these young quarterbacks. And you don't want him to go through a whole bunch of different things early on in his career either. So that's something to certainly watch. But you got to let it play out and just see how he reacts to the whole situation before you make a judgment. Let's go to Jim in Scott Township. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Hey, Bob, how you doing? Hi, Chris.
Hey.
Hey.
Hey, I got a question for Chris. Chris, when the Steelers had the ball on the first series of downs and it was 3rd and 3, why'd they throw a long pass? Why'd they try a short pass?
They only try those on 3rd and 9. That's what they do.
What, short passes?
Short passes when it's 3rd and 9, long passes when it's 3rd and short. That's how it normally works.
I mean, long passes when it's 3rd and short, I have no problem with. If it's like 3rd and 2 or 3rd and 1 and you're in a part of the field where you think you're going to go for it, the short of the stick stuff on 3rd and long is extremely aggravating unless it's in a situation where it's a 2-down territory type of thing and you're trying to get a chunk of that yardage back. Bob, what did you think of Chase Claypool after that game saying they need to throw more go balls? And he was serious, too.
But
I thought that was wild because...
Yeah, and he also said, but I'm not trying to, call into question the offensive coordinator or the play calling.
No,
but yes, you are. By saying
that,
that's exactly what you're doing.
But it's fun. He is doing that, A. B, he's not even getting it right. They did this on the broadcast last night, and they did it on ESPN this morning.
Yep.
They throw more go routes than any team in the NFL. They have no passing tree, no passing playbook that looks original. It's either short dump off or the roll left, throw left into the flat, or a go ball. What's he talking about?
Well, he sounds like he just wants more activity, and it's his fault that he's not getting it because he hasn't done his best either in these opportunities. A physical guy, he needs to be more physical when he's towering over some of these other defensive backs. Let's go out to Anthony in Cecil Township. Hello, Anthony. How are you?
Good evening. Before I ask my question or make my comment, Chris, I wanted to ask you, I expected you to have a couple black eyes tonight after that volley with Pony this afternoon on your radio show.
What happened?
We got started with a little bit of a peppery debate. Pony said, say it with me, guys. It's not Kenny's fault that they lost the game, and I had to hit him with the truth, which hurts sometimes, and he didn't want to hear it. Shockingly, Bob.
Yeah, he was a little depressed last night, although he kept it together on our show here. But, at some point you have to say he cost them the game. And listen, you can grade him on a curve. You can grade him on a curve if you want. I think a young player should be because it is his first go-round in this. But at the same time, you can also be critical of bad throws, and they were bad throws and bad decisions.
Why is the assumption I would have two black eyes after the go-round with Pony? I was giving him the business. I gave him the old what and the old for. What for? Come on.
We also have makeup in this business, so if he has a few, you may not see it. We cover it up with concealer. Thanks, Anthony, for the call.
Did he almost cry with you, Bob? Did he almost cry last night on the showdown?
He was very emotional. I thought, come on, man.
He sounded like he was choking up at the end of our segment. I don't know if it was the power of my rhetoric, if it was the intensity of the argument. He sounded like he was getting a little upset, Bob.
Oh, my. Let's go out to Dave, who joins us in Penn Township. Dave, what's up?
How you doing, guys? Thanks for the call. I watch you all the time.
Go ahead, thanks.
What do you got, man?
One question. Everyone's on the Kenny Pickett thing, but I understand he's a rookie, and he's going to make some ups and downs, and he did make some bad throws, but in hindsight, the defense dropped 4 interceptions last night.
Mm-hmm. They also gave up 13 points real quick, and that's not how you want to start a game. The Steelers have notoriously been a slow-starting team.
Yeah.
And you can't just dig a hole like that.
I know, but they gave up 16 for the whole game. I don't think a single team has held a Tua-led Dolphins team to that low of a total all year. By the way, to the previous caller, I apologize. He hits us with such a good line, he never even gets to his point. I have no idea what it was, but I want him to know that he contributed well to tonight's nightly sports call. But here's a quick thing, too. I said you can't have, it's impossible to have a rational opinion on Pickett at this point because everyone wants to make sweeping pronouncements, Bob. Real fast, I thought the defense was excellent after the first quarter. Almost, I would want to give them an A, but guess what? You do have to catch interceptions when you have them in your hands, so I do have to dock them a little bit for that because those are plays that should be made that put points on the board for Miami because they weren't.
Yeah, the one by Cam Sutton gave them 3 points at the end. He should have had it, and I'm sure nobody felt worse about it than him. And the one to Terrell Edmonds was right there for him to cradle, and he didn't. So those are missed opportunities. Absolutely, that factors in. All right, we're going to take a break here. We'll come back with more. 412-575-2600. Get on the horn. Let us know what you think right here on the Nightly Sports Call.